Okay, new Carti interview dropped. This is the only artist that I've ever seen in my entire life. Lewis said it yesterday correctly, where he has snippets of the interview drop the day prior. Like, no one else has this hype. I'm not even, again, we already dick ride him too much, but anyway, so we're gonna try and find out any evidence of a potential album dropping within the next year, or like, you know, we're hoping before the year ends, so like before 2024, because he's going on tour. So like, you would hope that he's gonna drop before then, so we actually, whoever buys tickets, you know, those prices are skyrocketing, and so are you really gonna pay $200 just to listen to Whole Lotta Red again? Probably. You probably will if you're in this video. But anyway, so we're gonna move myself over here. We're looking the exact opposite direction, but anyway, so he talks about the album a little bit and just his work ethic, I guess. But again, we're gonna try and find the album. How long is this? Not too long, but my reading level is definitely like third grade at this point. I don't even know how to write things with my hand anymore since I left school. But anyway, he said, I work every day as if I'm not who I am, and I don't have what I have. That's enough to keep me going, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, he's got all this success, and he's still working like he's still hungry, which I guess makes sense, because once you get money, what's really the only motivator? It's status. Actually, I don't even think money really matters anymore. It's all about status. You got 100K followers, you bagging all the hoes, right? They don't even know what's in your bank account. And you get free shit when you're famous. You get on the PJs. Does it really matter if it's yours? None of these billionaires actually own their boats or whatever. They put it in the company name and then they just lease it, so that's, you know, tax evasion. But anyway, so let's actually just do Control F on album here. Then when I dropped my album, we were in the studio the same night. That was Whole Lotta Red. Here it is. I got the feeling you've always had a sense for your trajectory. Was there a moment you knew it was really happening for you? I'm a very humble guy. Is he though? Is he? If he's a narcissist, I feel like, actually, what is the definition of humble? Is it like you, humble definition? Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. I think bro knows that he's him, right? He starts a label. He knows that he doesn't even have to say shit about his artists, and they're still gonna go up just because of who he is. He's working with Carti. You're telling me he doesn't know who he is? He definitely does. But since I was a little kid with my mom and everything, I knew I was the shit. Okay, I'm humble, but I know I'm the shit. All right. Anything I did, that's my vibe. I was doing the shit by myself. Blah blah blah. Where is the album? And when I do get there, I'll probably be saying the same thing. I'm not dead. You know, this album right here is, I say this for everything, but I think it's going to be my best album because I'm just popping it. It starts with music. That's it. As long as I got that, it's up. Facts. If you got the music as an artist, it's always going to be streaming. Although I do feel like music, as we've talked about so many times, isn't always just about the music. It's about the aesthetic and brand, because you could drop some hot ass, but if people fuck with you on Instagram and TikTok, whatever, music is so subjective that, like, if they think you're cool, they're gonna think the music is cool. And that's why I feel like there was so much of a turnaround at the beginning of Whole Lotta Red, where people thought it was trash, but just because it's Carti and like he's running the game right now, at least like organically, not necessarily, you know, getting the same push as like Drake or whatever, but they started to like it 6 months later because he's just that guy. But also I feel like a lot of artists, I know people are getting pumped about this interview, but every artist says like, this is my best project ever, just because that's how humans work. We're like on to the next project and we're like, oh, we're implementing the 1% improvement every single day or every single project. So of course he's gonna think it's his best project. Although I do think that this one, like as we talked about before, Whole Lotta Red was like a, you know, more rock infused, or not even rock. Like I feel like that was more so his Whole Lotta Red tour or King Vamp tour, where he brought in all the guitars and like rock instruments, real rock stars up on stage. But the actual album had like some hyper pop, had a lot of Ken Carson type influence in there. He even produced on it. I'm trying to think. It was a very vampire influence, not necessarily rock. But then he went in that direction with some of the newer snippets by Filthy, but I think he kind of strayed away from that, although I do feel like he might actually have a couple songs on there on the next project, Music or whatever it's called, just because not every project can be like the same sound all the way through, or at least it can be, but it gets boring if you do that. So he might have some like the trap infused shit with like the new Future low voice, as in Future the artist from Atlanta. If you don't know him, he's an underground artist, he's coming up, as well as the rock stuff. But yeah, this music album is going to be crazy, I can already tell, just because he is the biggest he's ever been, which I can't say for a lot of artists in his generation, like 2016 through 2018, where a lot of them have kind of peaked and are on their downfall trajectory. Maybe not like falling off, but you know, like they hit their peak numbers, whereas I feel like Carti's just gonna keep stepping up. He's getting, you know, the Kanye cosign that he executive produced, Whole Lot of Red, but I feel like just he's getting more and more cosigns from the top of the game. So let's see if there's anything else. Tell me what's next. Tell me about the new album. Okay. It's very important to me because I feel like I have something to prove. I'm just excited, you know. This is my moment. This is the one for me. Exactly. Again, everybody kind of doubted him after a Whole Lot of Red, and so this one, I feel like everyone kind of bought into the vision, the plan. He looks like an alien now. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I feel like he's definitely on this dark aesthetic, but like with the piercings and everything, he's kind of him and Uzi kind of look the same, especially with those microdermal thingamajigs, whatever they're called, like where it's a piercing but it just goes in your skin. It's not really like a ring type thing. Just saying though. But anyway, he continues. I always knew I had to do something, you know. I wasn't going to be like assed out at my mom's house. Like, nah, I had to make something out of myself. And that's it. This is the shortest interview of all. It's so funny how he doesn't do, I guess it's not funny, it's just smart, how he doesn't do the video interviews like on Montreality or Our Generation, or what are other, I feel like there aren't really that big of interviewers anymore, at least like for his level. And I think it's smart to do the text because you can be interpreted in so many ways. Like, y'all remember when he did the I done dated era after a Whole Lot of Red? Like, that could have been interpreted in so many ways, and they cut it off so that everybody could start making a whole ruckus online about like, is Dude gay? Is he not? Is he fucking bitches? Or what, did he sell his soul to the executives? You know, like when he signed the deal, did they say that one of the contractual obligations was you had to get sodomized in one way or another? but with the text, I feel like it just brings a lot more hype. Also, it's like more aesthetic in a way. Also, I think it's cool that he does it on kind of lesser mainstream outlets. Like, he's not doing the, I don't know, again, I don't even know where people do interviews anymore on tech, like Fader, or I'm trying to think, like any of these big outlets. Like he kind of is putting them on and making fans search for it. Again, we're dick riding here. It's I can't help it. It's like, you know how it is. No other person gets this much press just by doing a text interview, which is like 6 paragraphs total. But we didn't really get anything new here. Is there any like release date? Because I know there was what was it, like some article said it is reportedly the album dropping in 2024, right? But then I kind of went through that. I was like, actually it said rumored. And so when you say rumored or reportedly or allegedly, you can't really be held to saying what you said. You could be like, I said allegedly because someone said it on Twitter, and so then we just kind of like went with it, but there was no actual fact. So again, no release date. Let's actually just type Control F on date. There is no date. So unfortunately, we have no other new information. It's just him speaking his mind about, again, very vague topics like this is my best project. And I agree with him. I think it will be. Again, he has something to prove. Everyone is kind of bought into the vision. So this next project, I'm telling you, it might hit 200. It might hit 200. I know everybody's sales been down, but I feel like he's the type of person, like organically, he already did like 105K. There was probably some, you know, botted streams in there just because every single label does that. But if they actually put some budget underneath this, it can really go up. And if he's doing the trap style, like on some of the newer leaks, Wicked / Killers, It's definitely more mainstream. Like it could be on Rap Caviar and regular listeners, future listeners, who is still an all-time GOAT. Like he'll bring in the less niche down vampire opium wave. Like he'll actually hit the audience that listens to regular rap music, like what's usually on the radio or whatever, which again could boost the sales significantly. So yeah, new Carti interview. I don't know what information we got other than this is going to be his best album, but y'all let me know.